Hey gang,
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
another week of Mad About You guys, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, thanks for being here with us. Guys, this week on the pod, Jed decided to put our little question box on the
Yes.
World Wide Web to get you guys to just ask some questions if there's anything sort of a bit more personal you want to know from us, and just do a little bit of a sort of end of year catch up. So
Yeah.
we'll be doing that. I've chosen sort of the questions that popped up the most because some pop up more than others, and then a couple little fun ones in there as well. And then, we'll just go through those and have a little chit chat. And then our Ask Mum and Dad at the end of the episode comes from a girl needing some advice regarding the hot guy at work. So, we've all been there.
Little workplace romance. Have
Yeah.
you?
Well, hot girl at work, yeah.
Who was she?
Don't worry.
Was
well,
it
you
me?
were there once, yeah.
If it
Once
wa-
upon a time it was you.
If
but
it wasn't me, I don't want to hear
a
about
couple before you as well.
it. Wow.
Guys, before we get
Good to know.
into just a little chit chat about us, I actually got sent a really funny dating story. This person actually wrote in and said, like, I missed the boat with, I recently listened to an episode and I had this funny story I wanted to share. And it was actually so funny that I wanted to just divulge it with you guys. But it says, so I was getting on with a bloke and we started dating. Shortly after, we moved in together and bought a dog together. After about 6 months.
Shortly after.
Yeah,
Shortly after you've moved in and bought a dog.
What is that? What do you mean?
That's a quick move, I reckon. A
What?
dog's a lifelong commitment. Well,
Well,
15 years, give or take.
yeah.
But that's a
yeah.
while.
Okay. After about 6 months,
Sorry,
I
go
kept
on.
waking up in the morning soaking wet. I
Oh.
couldn't figure out why until I realized the clothes in my closet and drawers were also soaking wet. I realized that our dog was weeing on our bed and clothes, so I ended up putting the dog in a crate during the day to train him. But no matter how much I trained him, he kept pissing on all my stuff, and my boyfriend was always starting arguments and getting annoyed at me because our stuff always smelled like piss. After a couple of weeks of this happening, I
No.
finally set up a camera in the bedroom to figure
No.
out the dog's routine and why he was doing it.
I don't want to hear this.
In the morning, I watched the footage back to find my boyfriend waking up in the middle of the night and standing over me in bed and pissing all over me. Then he would pull open all my drawers and piss all over them. I couldn't believe it. It was never the dog, but my boyfriend was sleep pissing all over our stuff. We ended up breaking up over it. Poor bloke, he didn't even know that he slept walked, let alone slept pissed.
Oh. Oh my God.
I got that story, and the only reason why I believed it, right, is because I actually went to uni with a girl who had a boyfriend who did this exact thing. Not like
Sleep
get up
pissing?
and yeah, he would sleep wet the bed like every single night, and not to the point where he would get up and like hose all
around?
over and like go into a drawer.
What's he putting out fires in his dreams?
It's crazy, hey.
What's going on?
But the thing is, right?
Surely you've got some sort of you've got some sort of like childhood trauma or something that's for some reason linked to the peeing.
No, people sleepwalk. That's normal. Sleep
Okay.
pissing is odd, but the thing
getting
is,
up and doing it in the drawers, why did it start around the same time as the dog arriving?
I also understand the drawers thing because my sister used to sleepwalk and she used to literally walk downstairs from her room into my room, open my drawers, take out my like socks and undies, throw them on my bed, and then walk back upstairs, totally asleep. So it is a weird thing. I can't really explain it.
Weird.
But what I don't understand is I think that he's kind of gaslighting her here. And
Oh.
when he went in and was like, "Oh, it's the dog," and it's really annoying because surely this was something that happened before, right? Like he's
Well,
an
no, that's
adult.
what I mean. If it hasn't occurred until you've gotten the dog, is the dog the pee trigger?
No,
Could be.
I think he always did it, and he was just trying to get away with it.
You
and
think
blame
he
it on
knew?
the dog? Yeah. What? Like they moved in together, got a dog. Let's just say they're 25, right? That sort of thing doesn't probably happen at 25. Like before she was around.
I don't know.
Before she was around, he was sleeping solo. When he was waking up without the dog and without her,
Yeah.
bed's covered in piss. Who's he blaming then?
Who's peeing the bed? Yeah.
Always him. So I reckon he was gaslighting her
Yeah.
and maybe
Just
I don't know.
hoping that it would stop
just
and that she wouldn't pick up on it.
maybe.
Maybe he suggested getting the dog
That's what I was
so
gonna say.
he could frame the dog.
And she was like, "Can the dog not sleep in our room?" And he's like, "No, it has to sleep on our bed because I need someone to blame." That's what I thought as well. Maybe he got the dog
wow.
because he was like, "I really like this chick. I need to cover it." Also, you could just be honest about that, right? And go, "I've got a
No.
problem."
No. You can't. Sorry.
You can't,
You can't be honest about that.
as in no chick would deal
Nice
with
to
it.
meet you. Let's move in together. Sure. By the way, I will pee on you. And it will
Every night.
happen every night.
So you
and
think there's-
also all your stuff.
So there's no chance of him finding love then forever.
unfortunately, it would take a very strong woman to put up with that at the beginning stages of the relationship.
Sure. But once you're in love, just wheel over.
If I was him, what I would do is not move in with someone for a very long time, trap them with the love, and then they'd have to deal with the battle of the we and the love.
Of if they love you enough to stay. I don't know if I could wake up every morning covered in urine.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
No, it is breakup worthy. It's awful, and it sucks because it's got nothing to do with him, I think. But as in, like, it's not his fault. He's sleep-winging.
Sure.
Right?
I wonder if someone can help you with that.
Yeah, probably see someone.
Like a hypnotist or something.
See anyone.
Yeah, I don't know how you would get help for that problem, but
see anyone you
Yeah,
can.
I just thought that was a funny story, and that probably hasn't happened to many people. That's probably a very, very, very niche thing.
That's disgusting.
But,
Sorry. Yuck.
But also, it triggered a memory from uni where I had a friend who I was telling you experienced that exact thing. And just every night, her boyfriend would pee the bed and she would wake up every morning. And she was so sweet, and they were in love, and she stayed with him. And it was just this weird thing that they dealt with, you know? So, yeah, I can understand that it's the potential to happen.
That's unfortunate. He could just wear a nappy.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I guess he's getting it out in his sleep. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, we don't have to
He
solve
has to
that
wear like a
problem.
nappy chastity belt that needs like a key to open.
Yeah. She has the key.
All right, guys, that was my little cheeky story for you guys to start the day. But let's get into some questions that you guys had about Jad and myself and life, and all right. So first question says, how do you feel about the sex of baby number 2? I'm a mama of 3 boys here.
Well, fine. Like, if anything, probably good for, like, better for Fletch. Well, I'm not better. I mean, you get what you get, and all good, and people get along, and boys and girls get along. But I think there's something special about a brother bond.
Yeah, I think that'll be nice. I think once we had the first one, whatever it was, the second one doesn't matter. Like, you have your sort of hopes for the first one. You go like, oh, I would like this one, but it doesn't really matter. And then the second one, you're like, well, the boy gets a brother or the boy gets a sister. So both are great options, you know. But if I'm being completely honest, I was hoping for a girl just to experience something different because we have a few like nieces and nephews, of which we've had the pleasure of experiencing for, like, the oldest one I think is like 6 now, so 6 years, and the girls and boys are vastly different, you know, and it's a totally different experience. It's a totally different relationship, totally different bond, and so I was just excited to experience both, you know, because like I've done the boy, it's been amazing, and I was just hoping to be able to experience the girl. But that being said, having the boy and knowing that Fletcher's going to have a brother, like I had brothers, is very special. So,
well, I have good news for you.
Yeah.
I saw an astrologist and she told me we're having a girl at some point.
Oh, wait.
It's in the cards.
We don't even know if we're having another kid. Wait.
She said you're going to have a girl. Yeah, I know. She said it. Sorry. It's in the it was in the stars, actually.
So it's locked in.
Apparently, the stars say a girl is on the way.
See, that's the thing, right? Third kid, I would go, okay, let's... If it was guaranteed a girl, I'd go, let's do it. Like,
really?
Yeah, let's do it. But if it was like, hey, have another boy, it's going to be like a tornado hitting your house, I'd be like, maybe.
See, I don't
agree.
I don't agree with that. I think if I want a third kid, I want a third kid. It doesn't matter what they're going to be.
No. I'm saying it would take some thinking and some pondering.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whereas if you said girl, I'd go, lock it in. If you said another boy, I'd go, let me sleep on it.
I don't necessarily agree.
Okay, that's
I think it would just
fine. We don't have to
It would
agree.
just be like, I'd separate the two and I'd think, do I want a third child? Logistically, can we do 3 kids?
Yeah.
We're going to be outnumbered. That is the reality of your life.
Yeah, you're already outnumbered. It's going to be 3 boys, 1 girl.
Yeah, okay. Gender-wise, I'm outnumbered, but
Who are you going to give your wardrobe to?
I know. It's really... Yeah, we do need to have a girl.
We've had someone in the room put their hand up.
I've collected a lot of nice things, and I would like to pass it down to, well, ideally your daughter. But really, like, you have these thoughts, right? Like, oh, it would be nice to do that. But we might have a daughter who couldn't give 2 shits about my wardrobe and wants to dress like you.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Just wear the same T-shirt all day.
Oh wait, so we're gonna have a low maintenance queen.
The same T-shirt all week, some board shorts and some thongs. You know, she might just be a tomboy and have no interest in my wardrobe. So it doesn't matter. Even
So-
if we have a girl, it doesn't mean I get to do all these things that I'm imagining doing with the girl.
Yeah, but she could do the same thing that you do with it.
Or
Just
one of the
leave it
boys.
in
One of
leave it
the
in
boys
closet.
might want my wardrobe. You never know.
You might never know. Maybe to give to their missus. That would be a good flex. Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah. Sex. I don't think either of us really care. We're happy with the two boys.
Well, you just said you'd go for a third, definitely, if it was a girl.
Yeah, but she's asking about the second. So
True.
Second, we're good.
Second's whatever. Yeah, whenever you have the first, or for us at least, when we had the first, it was like whatever. Now we don't care.
Mm.
Well,
Here's with the next one.
I don't care.
I know you don't. You pretend to not.
What did you say?
I said, give us the next
Okay.
question.
Our next question says, do you guys keep dating during parenthood? Oh, we've touched on this, haven't we? I think we've done a whole episode on this, basically, where we've chit-chatted about, like, keeping the spark alive in the relationship and how to do that, or how other people suggest that we do that, or
Yeah,
what they do.
We're probably not the best at this, I would say. We're still learning and navigating this. And Jad actually messaged me last night, sort of, not talking about this, but yeah, I was out of the house at, 10:30 at night, and Jad was in bed, and we hadn't really seen each other all day. We were in and out for work, and I was training at the end of the day. And she's, she just messaged me and she said, I know we're not seeing each other much, and we just like two ships passing, and that's just, the season that we're in right now. But, it doesn't change how we feel about each other, and, we'll look back on these times and miss them one day, sort of thing. And yeah, we're still not very good at carving out that time for just each other, doing something nice. We went out to dinner maybe a week, 2 weeks ago for our anniversary. It was really nice. That being said, it was an anniversary, so it's not like we have found that time to carve out weekly, fortnightly, monthly even. That was like a once a year kind of thing.
You tried to ask me to dinner recently, but I was sick again.
Yeah, and that's, the nature of being very, very pregnant is sometimes at the end of the day you feel like putting your feet up and you're just zooted. And
No, I was sick.
Sure.
Not pregnant.
Oh,
I'm pregnant every day.
Just a combo. Yeah, and trust me, at the end of the day, it's just lights out for you.
Yeah. Sometimes 3 p.m.
Yeah. 1 p.m, midday. Yeah.
Oh.
It's all happening. But yeah, keep dating. We're probably not the best at that.
No.
It's something that we need to work on, and I'm sure it's only going to get harder before it gets easier with adding another little gremlin to
I
the
know,
mix.
that's what I'm worried about, because we already don't prioritize us time enough. And I'm like, with a second child, it's not like we're going to do that more all of a sudden. We need to do it more now.
Yeah. I think the most realistic way of us doing it is date nights at home. Because, it is hard sometimes to get a sitter, get dressed up, go out. And we went out the other night for our anniversary dinner. So I won't say the restaurant. We were pretty disappointed. Like it was
expensive and very average.
Yeah, it was. And at the end of the dinner, we kind of just sat there and looked at each other and we went, wow, we would have rather just sit in bed and play cards with each other and have
make
a bit of
make
ice
a better
cream or
steak at
something,
home.
Like it would have been just as nice time, like we don't need to leave the house to have time together. So yeah, that's something we sort of thought about, and maybe something we'll try to put into practice with just having little date nights at home.
It's harder when work picks up as well. Like right now is a very busy period work-wise. So it means that, the time is just slim to none, and then by the end of the day you're exhausted and you just want to go to bed, or you're coming home late and then you just go to bed. So yeah, we're not very good at this.
Yeah, don't ask us.
Don't
Get some
take our
tips from
advice.
somewhere else.
How do you keep dating during parenthood? Yeah, we don't.
You're just rereading the question.
I was just making sure we touched all points.
Nice. Okay, next one I just chucked in because I thought it was quite funny. This person's obviously, I don't know, there's some daggers in their heart. It says, do you get along with your in-laws, or are they manipulative and selfish in-laws like mine?
Oh, God. Poor thing. I get along with mine.
Yeah, I think Jad gets along with my parents.
I'm
and
lucky.
I get along with her mum, I don't know, really well. I think we're good friends, and it makes for like a real nice environment when you all hang out, when you all sort of get along and like each other. And when you're like itching to spend time with each other as well is like a real, I think, nice thing when you have this young family and your kids are excited to see their grandparents, and you're happy to spend time with them. It's not like you're dragging the kids along, to see the grandparents. And yeah, it's lovely. So yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky in that we actually choose to spend a lot of our free time with our parents or in-laws.
Yeah, it is.
It's probably not the most common scenario.
Yeah, but it's a nice position to be in because, I hope that one day our kids will feel the same and want to do the same with us. So
imagine if they don't want to hang out with us.
yeah, imagine if they just want to hang out with one of us.
Yeah, me.
Yeah. What are you going to do with them?
Have fun.
Yeah. Okay. What do you do with 30-year-old men?
Sorry.
No, I'm
sort
saying
of question
I'm saying
is
like one
that?
day when they're 30, like us,
Oh,
you're going to have
sure.
30-year-old men
Oh,
that are
okay,
kids.
okay.
What are you going to do with 30-year-old men
Well,
to have fun?
I have a 30-year-old man in my life right now, and
Yeah.
we have a lot of fun.
Yeah, what do we do?
We go to the park.
Yep, with the kids.
We'll go with their grandkids. I mean, their children.
Sounds like you really thought this out.
We go to the food. We get food.
Go to the food.
We
Nice.
get food. We chat.
Nice.
I like the
It's all right. You
aquarium.
got 29 years to think
We
about
can
it.
go
so-
bowling.
Nice. They'll
I'll
be
be-
itching to go to the aquarium at 30, I think. So it's a great idea. Get to the next question.
You know what? Yeah, screw you. I'm taking them on holidays. Actually,
Okay.
we're going on trips. I'm gonna coerce them into hanging out with me with family holidays.
That's nice.
What do you got? What do you do with 30-year-old men?
Oh, go to the food, go to the holidays with you, and chat to them, I guess.
No, you're not invited. You have to come up with your own fun.
Oh, I'll probably take him out for a round of golf.
Oh,
That'd be nice.
well, okay, yeah, you got me there.
What do you mean? You could play. You could
Could?
learn. I've seen you hit balls. You're all right.
You see me hit balls.
That wasn't a joke. That's what you do with the golf ball. You
Some
hit
of
it.
your sentences just today just could be worded better, I feel. What do you do with 30-year-old men? I've seen you hit balls.
What?
That's
Heaps of sports you hit balls. I don't get why that's just because men have balls as well. It doesn't mean I'm talking about that.
you don't just hit balls. Like
That's exactly what you do in golf. You hit the ball.
You strike a ball.
Okay, fair enough. Jesus Christ.
Moving
Can we go
on.
next question?
Yeah, okay. Would love to hear more about your property search. How's it going? What are the challenges? Well, the challenges
Still searching,
are
and the challenge is money.
everything's $1 trillion.
Yeah. Our search is we change our mind all the time about
Yeah.
like trying to get out of Sydney because it's like we can only sort of afford somewhere where we want to live in and raise a family out of Sydney, and then we can't really leave Sydney for work and commuting with kids is going to be tough, and we change our mind. But yeah, we've put in actually quite recently like a application for like loans and stuff, and we're waiting to hear back. But what we do with that, and if we buy something really small in Sydney, or I think
We
that's
don't know
sort
if
of
we're
what we've
buying to
agreed on.
invest or buying to live, basically. We're still figuring it out.
Yeah, I don't think we can actually buy to live, so we might have to just buy like a small apartment and
Well, there you go.
just start somewhere. But that's our hunt, really. We we haven't really got the money to buy somewhere big enough to live with a family in the city. But
yeah.
and then when we have tossed up and we've gone to properties and had a look, like hour and a half out of Sydney, and like really liked them, and then we sit with the thought that every time we want to come to the studio, for example, it's a 3-hour drive, and what do the kids do, and when we need to come in for meetings in the city or to see clients and stuff, it's always commuting, which I know people do, but just the fact when you add 2 kids to the mix and then you don't have family around to help, and you're in a remote kind of location, it just becomes it becomes just an added web of things to sort of get through.
Whilst we're in baby making and birthing stage, I don't think it's realistic to move out of the city.
Yeah, as much as it would be nice, and you get so much more bang for buck, when you're 90 minutes out of the city, and you get a nice backyard and space that is very, very desirable when you have young boys, because they run around like crazy. But yeah, as for our
girls
search,
like grass.
yeah, I can only
I
speak
like
on what
grass
we have.
as a
honey.
child.
You do love grass.
Yeah.
That
Good to sit
wasn't
in,
like I wasn't trying to be
rolling.
a sexist comment there. I was just
I
saying that
know.
we have boys and they like running
And
around.
I said girls like yards too. So
Yeah.
you need to add that in there
Okay.
sometimes.
Sorry, guys. But search, we are definitely still searching. It is, I don't know, I would say tedious almost. And the main
Sucks.
challenge is Jad making a decision, really. Because one day she wants to move out of the city. The next day she's changed her mind. She doesn't want to. 3 days later, she's sending me properties from out of the city again. And I've said, but didn't you say that you wanted to stay in Sydney? And she goes, yeah, but look at this one. So that's one of the main challenges, is dealing with Jad's mind.
I
when it
am
comes to this.
indecisive in nature. Like sometimes I really struggle to decide on my coffee order. So you can imagine how hard this is for me.
Yeah, it actually does bring me a lot of anxiety as well.
Oh.
Is the
Okay.
decision to purchase a property? I think it's such a huge thing.
Oh no,
Like,
that doesn't make me anxious.
oh, okay. Just spending what over $1 million doesn't scare you?
Well, you can just get rid of it if you need to.
Yeah, it actually is that simple. You're right. So, yeah. Who cares if you lose a bit of money?
Oh,
or-
stop. Nothing's that permanent, really.
Yeah, true.
You know, even tattoos you can get rid of.
See, this is who I'm dealing with, guys, with the property search. So, as you can see, it's an up and down experience.
I don't like placing limitations on my life.
Yeah, me neither.
Or my future. I think you can always figure it out and everything's always going to be okay. And sure, you might lose a bit of money, but it'll come back.
Yep. I don't dislike that outlook. It's just a scary one to have
Yeah.
sometimes.
Well, you should have it.
Okay.
Have
alright.
it more.
Next question says, did you guys ever struggle with your body image? How did you overcome it? Would you like to tackle this one? Or?
Where do I begin? Yeah. Massively when I was younger.
How young were we talking?
I don't know. I remember being called fat when I was like 6. Not 6, but like 10.
Do you remember it or not?
I remember being 10 and like I was telling someone that I hated being chubby and that everyone called me fat at school, and she was like an adult in my life and she said, "You're just big boned." So I had this idea that I had all these really big bones, which is not true. That's not factually correct. But that was the beginning of my journey with my body image, really. It was like being very young and feeling like out of place and not liking my body because I was being teased for it. And then I got into high school and then I lost heaps of weight in probably like not the healthiest way.
What does that mean?
I just ate like close to nothing and I shed all this weight and then I was really praised for it. Like everyone was like, "Wow, you look amazing." It's like, it was like very much like Ugly Duckling vibes. Like all of a sudden I was the swan and then I had all this attention. So I placed a lot of value in my appearance. And it took a long time for me to kind of, I guess, like deal with that mentally and what that meant and who I thought I was. And it was just like a lot of identity was based in my appearance. So it took a lot of work for me to kind of claw out of that. And I absolutely still have battles now. Like I'm pregnant and I've gained a lot of weight and I feel like a bit, I don't like, it's more now than like looking in the mirror. It's more like I don't like how I feel. Like I don't like feeling heavy. I don't like that my feet are sore. I don't like that my clothes don't fit. There's something stressful about putting underwear on. It doesn't fit anymore. For some reason, when it's jeans, it's like whatever, they're jeans. But when your undies don't fit, there's, you know your body's changed. And I know that I'm growing a human and that's fine. But aside from that, I've been grieving. And so I've been eating emotionally and like, I've gained a lot more weight than I did the first time. And like sometimes I just struggle a little bit with that because I just don't feel like myself. But I know that like there's nothing wrong with me and there's nothing wrong with this and this process and with what I'm going through and how I've dealt with it. And it's all just a chapter of life. So, I have the knowledge and I have the self-awareness and like I'm not beating myself up about it, but sometimes I do still feel a little bit like just out of my depths or uncomfortable or have to convince myself that everything's okay and like it's all good. It's really not that big of a deal and like no one's basing my value in how I look, and if they are, then I don't care about them. Yeah.
I would say like close to everyone would experience body image issues. I
don't know anyone who hasn't ever.
I think you've got to be so strong in the mind to not, or to be like truly happy with yourself, which is a sad thing to say, but I think it's just inevitable that people experience it. But what were you saying when you were? So you said you experienced it young, and then you still experience it today. But I don't know. I would say probably I would assume for women the scariest stage of body image would be like through puberty till like, I don't know, 25, when you're like maybe a little bit more conscious about how you look and you're going out and, you're trying to emit a certain image and stuff. How did you like deal with it in that stage of your life? Because I know you went out a lot and you cared about what you wore and fashion and looking a certain way. So does it come into play even more in that era of life?
Well, because I lost a bit of weight, for the most part, I liked how I looked, but that was kind of part of the problem, is that I was basing a lot of my value in that. So, I guess when my weight started fluctuating again, you then battle a little bit with like, oh, well, why do I feel bad about myself now that I've gained weight? You know what I mean? And then there's also the pressure of what I was doing for a living. So I was like shooting swimwear, for example, like, you know, being flown overseas to go shoot swimwear, but it would be at a time where I'd maybe let myself, well, I don't want to use the wrong words, but eaten more, and had gained a bit of weight. And so I'd feel really uncomfortable about, almost felt like I was lying, like, to the client, and then that I was maybe upsetting them with, like, my appearance. And I remember one shoot specifically when I felt like that, and I look back on the photos and I'm like, my God, like, it's crazy that I thought that I looked big then when I absolutely was not, and maybe had softened a little bit, and that's all it really was. But yeah, it's one of those things that I like. Yeah, almost everyone I know has had some kind of journey with body image, and it's just, it almost feels unavoidable. Like, I would even argue that you've had your own journey with body image, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I've first started. I got bullied like in primary school as well, and then maybe the very beginning of high school, but not. The high school I went to was quite filled with like really nice, sort of accepting people.
That's nice.
But yeah, at my primary school in year like 5 and 6, there were a couple of like, you know, bully-esque kind of guys who really attached to me for some reason. I was like super, super skinny, like a little, I used to get called like string bean and stuff like that. And yeah, I was, you know, I looked like that, so I can understand how that would be the thing that got to me. But yeah, I started.
It's funny because I would have loved to be called string bean.
Yeah,
and here you are with the complete opposite.
The grass is always greener, hey? But yeah, everyone experiences their own. Like, people attack, you know, what they know that they're worried about, you know. So yeah, but I remember I started like lifting weights in my garage at home. That my dad had a little weight set maybe when I was like 15 or something, and like I train at the gym every day now. I'm 33, you know, so it's almost 20 years of doing that without stopping. So I think that once you start that sort of endeavor, like, you know, I wanted to get like big and strong, and I wanted to look different because I didn't want people to bully me, or I didn't want to be seen as someone who could get bullied, you know, like for that sort of thing. Like, you know, I just wanted to emit like a strong presence.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I started doing all that. And then once you start on that journey, it's kind of this weird mental thing because you're just always going to think that it's not enough, it's not good enough, you're never going to look a certain way, you know, the way you want. So you're like forever chasing this thing that you're really never going to get to. Because I can say right now, like, I don't look how I want to look at 33, you know what I mean? But I also look at it through a different angle and lens and go like, you know, my body serves a purpose and I can do all the things I need to do, and I value now like my mind more than you know, my body, and I want to listen and learn to things, and I want to, you know, expand my mind like a muscle just as much as my body, you know. So you adapt and you change, you know, your wants in life. But yeah, I struggled. I've gone through like crazy times in life of similar to yourself, like not going out to eat, not eating with family, not eating what my parents cooked when I went to visit them.
I never didn't go out to eat. What are you talking about?
Because, yeah, true. You know, just I was fearful about putting things in my mouth that I hadn't cooked myself. You know, I didn't know what was in it, and I was counting calories
Would
really
you say
extremely.
You reckon you had an eating disorder then?
Oh, probably to a degree. Yeah, perhaps. You know, and I was the same as you. I valued how I looked, and it was like a part of my identity. And I was the same as you. I was getting work because I looked a certain way, and I was getting flown overseas, and I was getting paid lots of money. And so it was like a cool thing. It validates everything. So you go, well,
it does.
You know, I train hard, I don't eat much, and I look a certain way, and then I'm rewarded for it. So I have to keep doing it. And then when you, as you said, when you don't look like that, or you don't perform like that, then things change for you. And it was something that I sort of had to get used to as well, like getting injured and doing my knee. And, you know, I went from playing really high level competitive sport and training every day, like as hard as I could, to not being able to move for 6 months. And I still can't move 2.5 years later the way I could. And I look very different, you know, and that's something that I've had to adapt to. And it does play on my mind, you know, and it's as Jed said, it's inevitable, but you have to sort of, yeah, in your own mind, weave it in a different way and look at the positives. And yeah, I have, you know, boys in my life now, you know, kids who I want not only to be a role model,
Yeah.
mentally and physically, but at the same time, I want them to know that they don't have to look a certain way to mean something or be worthy
Mm.
or to be valued in society. So they can do whatever
Yeah.
they want. So you have to sort of,
Confidence is important. You
mm,
realize it's so much more important when you have kids. Like, you start thinking about them and how they're going to be raised and what they're going to witness their whole lives. And yeah, by the same token, I want to emit the same, kind of energy, because I think it's important for them to also see mum's confident and mum feels good in her body. And like,
mm,
I guess to some degree you end up a lot of people end up with versions of their parents, we don't need to get into that. But, um, I would like to hope that my boys end up with people who are confident in themselves too. Because, like, yeah, just, I guess, just life's easier in general and better and healthier and happier. So
well, I think truly being confident is being like comfortable in your own skin and who
in
you
whatever
are,
skin
and
you're
whatever
in,
skin
yes,
that is at
exactly.
the time. It's
Yeah.
like just because you might put on some weight or lose some weight or lose some muscle or be covered in stretch marks or scars, like whatever you're putting forward is like you have to be confident in all forms of yourself, and I think that's true. Sorry, comfortable in all forms
Yes.
of yourself, and that's true confidence.
I think you can also be confident and still have like little niggles of fleeting thoughts that you kind of make an effort to bury or ignore or work through. Or I don't think confidence is this all kind of, I guess, consuming thing that you have to be feeling it all the time 24/7. I don't think anyone does. I think it's just knowing that everything's okay if you don't look a certain way, or if your body's changed and that's just how it's going to be. It's like, I think what I'm trying to say is like, don't go, I guess, seeking this kind of unnatural version of confidence that doesn't exist. Yeah. All right, our next question says, one thing you're nervous about and one thing you're excited about when going from 1 to 2 kids. So many things.
Excited or nervous?
I'm nervous about the balance between, like, finding the balance between both kids. So, making sure that Fletcher's still, like, a priority, and then knowing that a newborn has very high needs, or can have very high needs, depends what kind of baby you've got. And making sure that, I guess Fletcher doesn't feel neglected or left out or like he's forgotten about. Yeah, that's one thing that's important to me.
I was talking to someone recently about the second kid, and he was saying, like, I was sharing the same experience, the same sort of fears. I was like, I'm really worried. Like, we've got the ability to spend so much like one-on-one time with him, which has been so nice, and like he's obviously learnt so much, and it's really special. And I fear that we're not going to have that one with the second. And he sort of like reassured me by going like, yeah, but your second gets like this little mini version and thing to look up to and learn off as well as you. And he goes, the second kid just does everything way quicker, way more confidently, like as in they learn like tenfold, because they have this little thing that they're watching do everything, and they want to copy and they want to learn and they want to like, essentially like, be like their big brother, so that was kind of nice to know that, hopefully that's what it will be like. But
there's absolutely pros and cons to, like, you can look at it from so many different directions, and I agree, like, and then they're always going to have company, like the younger one is always going to have someone around. That's really nice. Like, Fletcher just has us, which is, fine also, but I'm sure it's nice to have another little person around, when you're growing up. And, we both know they're going to be close and, well, hopefully little best buds that just, are attached at the hip, and that's really beautiful. And I think that's the having one of those days where I just can't find the words. That's just the pro to having more than one, is that they get to entertain each other, and I think that's really nice.
Something I'm actually really looking forward to is
go.
Fletcher's in his cuddle era. What do you mean, here we go?
You look like you had a face on. I thought you were
What
going
do you think I was going to
thought you were about to troll me. Go on.
No. Fletcher's in like his little cuddle era at the moment. Like he loves running up to you and he'll cuddle your legs.
So cute.
Or he'll just go up to a pillow and grab it and cuddle it, or one of his toys, or one
And
of
he
his
says cuddle.
Yeah,
He
and he
goes
goes,
cuddle.
and it's the sweetest thing ever. And we've bought a little baby, right? Like a little doll.
We
for him
bought a little baby.
Yeah, but
Do you
then I
realize how that sounds?
But then I said a little doll.
We bought a doll.
Yeah, a little baby doll. And he sort of like practices giving it pats and giving it some milk
so
and giving it some cuddles.
cute.
And he loves it. It's really sweet. So I'm excited to see him like be excited to do that with a real baby,
real
because
baby.
he's so
But
like
then he bites the foot.
he does bite the foot. He's
Yeah.
he's so gentle and sweet, and I'm excited to like watch that.
He
with
was
a- with
also
a real
putting
kid.
soccer ball on its face the other day.
Yeah, because he knows how fun it is to kick soccer balls, so he's just trying to get the kid
He
involved.
was getting the soccer ball and just placing it to the doll's face, and we were like, "What's he doing?" He was just holding it there, and we were like, "Okay."
I get it. He just wants them to be as excited as he is about balls. Okay, next question says, how do you know, in your experience, that you're in a healthy and loving relationship?
It's calm. You are not in fight or flight every day. You are not questioning whether or not they like you. You are not questioning your self-worth with them. It is just calm and relaxed, and you feel content and safe. Safe. You feel very safe.
Yeah, I think trust for me is like a big one as well. Like I've been in relationships in the past where I've sort of been on edge and wondering like what they're doing when they're out and who they're talking to, and been a little bit, probably self-conscious that maybe, I wasn't living up to the plate and that they would be looking for stuff elsewhere. And I think that when we first got in a relationship, it was it never felt like that, no matter where like Jad would be overseas for periods of time, or I'd still work weekends and nights, and she'd go out with her girl, and like I never worried, I never cared.
Oh, I did. I get text messages.
What?
Locke's cheating on you at the club. He's with a girl.
Yeah.
So he's with lots of girls. He has to let them in.
Yeah. Okay.
But I had to trust you, didn't I?
Well, you could have I stood on the door of a nightclub. I had multiple cameras on me at all times. You could have I would have got the footage for you each night and gone, you can sit and watch through 12 hours of footage if
I
you want.
trusted you.
Thanks. Appreciate that. But yeah, I think that's the main thing for me, was just feeling like a deep level of trust in a relationship, and that,
Yeah.
the person was not going to do wrong by you. I think that's a nice place to be in a relationship.
What made you trust me?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Slay.
There was nothing that you like did. No. I trust that I'm with a mental patient.
I want to know what it was about me.
I don't know. It was just like
Is
the
it
way.
because I spent every waking moment trying to find you?
Probably it could be that. Yeah. It could be the fact that you were close to a stalker. But, no, I don't know. It was honestly just a feeling, Like it just felt different, and I couldn't really explain it, but it was just that, and that was the comforting thing, is that I didn't have to search for it. I didn't have to question. It was just there, So yeah, I honestly don't know how to explain it. I don't have an answer for that question.
I think it's safe and it's comfortable, and you don't. Yeah, if you have doubts, I would say that's the problem. There is you shouldn't have any. You just know. There's a knowingness.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Fair enough.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. I feel like sometimes you just say stuff.
Yeah, I do. That's
Doesn't mean anything though.
That's my job.
Okay. Do you want to go next question then?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. Did your relationship struggle at all as first-time parents? Yeah.
Struggles as current parents.
When you're not sleeping for months, and then the baby's screaming, and you're like just so overwhelmed, or postpartum, or just the tiredness alone is enough to send you into overdrive.
I think it's just a big adapting phase, and we were probably in a very different scenario than most, whereby because we both work for ourselves and work from home and run a bit, we were sort of always around to be present with the other one and help when needed. But it also means that you're always the person at the forefront of the other person's mind if something goes wrong or if they're having an issue or if they're venting or angry. Like, you're always there. It's not like one of us went to the office for 10 hours a day and one dealt with the kid at home, so it was probably different in that sense. So we did, butt heads through exhaustion and tiredness, but it's also a period of your life that's filled with so much like love and joy as well. So they kind of balance each other out at that beginning stage. But
and it's just a chapter. Like, you're not going to be sleep deprived forever, so you just kind of like deal with it. And yeah, there's just hard times in life sometimes. That's just how it is, and it doesn't mean that anything's inherently wrong with your relationship. It just means that it's a tough little stint.
yeah, I mean, and
I think we're both very
I feel like
aware
that's
of that,
obvious,
which is
right?
good.
That's going to happen when you have, the ability to be like young people and be selfish and only do what you want to do when you want to do it with each other. And then suddenly this like ball of responsibility comes into your life and it's all about them and sacrificing.
And you're both
not
trying to
being
figure it out. You don't know what you're doing. You might have conflicting opinions sometimes. Like, oh, this is what the baby needs. No, this is what the baby needs. Do it this way. Do it this way. So, like you're both just anxious and tired. And yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's a recipe for temporary disaster.
It's not the time of your lives to have the best, most flourishing, partnership you've ever had. And that's okay.
Some people might absolutely crush it though as well, and that's also fine. If that's you,
well,
good on
some
ya.
people fall pregnant like 3 months postpartum.
Wow. How many kids would you guys like in your ideal world? Ideal world, Jad.
What does that mean? Like, I don't
Like,
have
you
to
want me to
birth them?
define ideal, or
Well, yeah, I want to know. What does that mean?
just in your dream world?
In dream world,
Yeah.
like, there's no consequences for anything. I've got
There are consequences.
trillions of
like, you wouldn't be able to-
dollars.
Yeah, that could be ideal world.
It's not a strain on my body.
Yeah, sure. What's the answer?
5, 4.
Yeah, I'd like to think I'd be somewhere up near the
10.
4 and 5. 10. Wow, just doubled. Fair enough. Where do they sleep in this one bedroom apartment?
It's the
we're
ideal
looking at?
world. There's hella beds.
That's true. No, I think I would like I grew up in, I'm one of 5 kids and I loved it. I thought it was like the most enjoyable upbringing. Obviously, I don't know anything different, but it was just always happening. There was always chaos. You were always friendly with some, fighting with others. It was great, and it was so much adventure and it was so fun. But that being said, ideal world, yeah, you'd obviously need a big monstrous car or two, a big house to have more, like
Time.
money, it's all those things come into play. So if none of those things are factors, yeah, maybe I'd like to give my family a
Big
heaps of
family.
siblings and big family as well. That would be lovely, but
It's also
whether or
like,
not that's realistic, another thing.
yeah, like, how can I divide my attention across that many children evenly and, and raise them in a way that I would like to raise them? It obviously gets harder the more children that you have to divide that attention, and it's like, can you commit to that time? Can you commit to that energy? Like, with the balance of work and the rest of life, and I think those are all considerations. So it's like, realistically, what can we juggle? And it's weighing that up, and start with 2 and see how we go.
Amen. Jad, this question is not an us question, it's just a you question.
Cool. Yeah.
Says,
Hit me.
Jad, do you have any icks about Locke whilst pregnant?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it sounded like you got heaps.
There's a few.
Oh, hit me.
When you bite on your cutlery, it's sending me these days.
Bro, get another one.
It's
You've used that
disgusting.
one
I
too many
hate it.
times.
You also do this throat clearing thing. You were doing it this morning. It honestly sent me into like a visceral state where you go, like, you do this, you suck all the snot down your nose. Like, you've got a runny nose. Instead of getting a tissue like a normal person, I can't even demonstrate it because it makes me sick in my throat.
Yeah,
is you suck all the snot up through your nose, and then you
say
go.
it again.
It's vile. Like, it's actually vile. It is
Okay.
the most disgusting. Please stop doing it.
Yeah, okay.
I beg you.
I'll try my best.
And I'm also worried Fletcher's going to start doing that. Like, he's watching you every day go, do that thing.
Okay.
Anyway,
Anything else? Just cutlery and
there's a few
throat
more,
clearing?
but we can stop there.
You can keep going if you got more. I don't mind. See, you have to think about it. That means they
No,
can't
I
be
don't.
really
I'm just
front
like,
of mind.
how much do I want to divulge on the
You
podcast?
can divulge. If it's too much, I'll say to my lovely friend over to my right not to put it in.
No, I don't want to say.
Oh, you're a wuss. That's pussy behaviour. All right. Do you have baby number 2's name picked out?
No.
We have, I reckon, spent 50 nights in bed.
We do
looking
not
at each
have a
other,
name.
talking about it. We can't figure it out.
This baby is called Baby B at the moment.
Yeah, we genuinely can't agree on one. It's not
No.
like we even have a list of 3 and we're like deciding
We're just
which of the
cooked.
3. We don't have a single name. So
We hate names.
if any of you have some bangers that you wouldn't mind
Yeah.
using, or us using, sorry, yeah, please let us know or leave them in the comments and we'll.
Our
maybe pick
requirements
one.
are we like a nice round name. Like it's
What
not
does that mean?
well, like it's not a
I
nickname.
didn't
It's
even know
not
that was
like
a requirement.
it's not just Joe, right? Like it would have to be like Joseph because that's a round full name.
Yeah. What about Joey? Is that full enough?
No,
Oh.
that's a nickname.
No, it's not.
It
Joe's
is.
the nickname. Joey's the full name.
Joey is a nickname.
Okay. Why is that?
Yeah, thank you. Joey is absolutely a nickname. We need it needs to have a nickname in it.
Yeah.
So that's important. It can't be like Blake. What's the nickname for Blake? Blah.
Achy.
Like Ake. It's just
Yeah.
terrible. There's no nickname. So it needs to have a nickname. It needs to sound good with Brikey. So then
Yeah.
you've again ruled out heaps of different sounds. And it also needs to suit Fletcher. So it can't be like Fletcher and what's something ridiculous?
Storm.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, that.
That.
Yeah.
You know, it can't be Fletcher and Apple.
What?
It's
Was that an option?
Gwyneth Paltrow's kid's name is
Oh,
Apple.
don't throw shade at Gwyneth.
It's a terrible name. I'm sorry.
Don't.
I'm
each
throwing
to
the
their
shade.
own.
I'm
Each
not
to their
calling my
own.
child Banana.
You don't have to.
It's not happening.
But let Gwyneth do what she wants.
Anyway, Fletcher and Banana is not working. So
don't
those are
disagree.
our requirements. If you have any names, it also needs to not be super, super common. So like there's Charlies everywhere, for example, right now. Like it's a really lovely name and I like it a lot. But there's just so many because everyone also really likes it. So it also needs to be like a name, but not an everywhere name. Does that make sense?
This is what I have to deal with, guys.
So there's a list of
yeah,
requirements.
this is why we can't figure it out. So yeah, if you want to throw some help our way, appreciate it.
Go.
All right, next one says, how do you feel when you found out about your second child?
Elated? I thought I was pregnant the month prior and I wasn't. The test lied to me.
I was elated, but then anxious.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I
Because-
wasn't anxious.
Because at the stage you found out, you were like, he was only 9 months old,
Yeah.
right? We were very much still figuring it all out, finding our feet. He was not sleeping yet. Like now he's a good sleeper and it's very different. But at 9 months, we were the vessel for his sleep at every moment of the day. Every nap was on us,
True.
a carrier. We were in his room at night, 10 times a night. So that freaked me out because I was like, I can't believe we're going to add another one to the mix.
That
Like,
chaos.
so while one's dealing with him, one can rest. But
Sure.
what if you have 2? It's like that are both like this. It's like
Mm.
no one's going to have any rest. So
Mm.
that's kind of where my mind went initially.
Mm.
But now that we've sorted out that sort of that kink, chink, it's fine. It's definitely not a kink, sleeping in Fletcher's room and dealing with him screaming 12 times a night. I'll say that much for free.
I was with a friend last night who had a 4-week-old and I just couldn't stop staring at the baby. Like she was just so gorgeous and just sleeping so peacefully in her arms. And it was her 3rd child. So this room is full of noise. There's women screaming, shouting, talking, laughing. Baby's dead asleep, like proper out. And I'm like, oh, isn't that gorgeous? Like
That's nice.
it was just beautiful. So, and it made me realize how, like, I'm clucky even though I'm really pregnant. So it made me realize how excited I am to experience that again. But when we found out, yeah, I was excited. I grew up very my sister and I have a really small age gap. It's like 17 months. 17 months.
Mm-hmm.
So Fletcher's going to be the same. I think it'll be 18 months. So I basically was very happy to have that same experience for our kids. And if anything, I was told my whole life that the second one's a lot easier. So I'm hoping we'll have that scenario because our first was really difficult. So
Fingers crossed.
yeah, we'll see how we go.
All right, Jad, what's been your proudest professional moment so far?
There's a few, but I think for me, I guess like the recognition of the People's Choice Award was really cool. Just like that was like a nationwide vote, and there were a lot of like really cool, amazing people who I was up against who had really big followings, and the actual experience of going to the People's Choice Awards and like receiving my award in front of a camera and on the red carpet, and then, you know, rubbing shoulders with people who I'd seen in TV or media my whole life was really, really cool. So I think for me, that was absolutely a big highlight. Yeah.
It was very cool.
Yeah.
Mine, I think, would have to be sitting right here, if I'm being completely honest.
Aw.
I really, really love doing this.
That's so nice.
I'm like a big podcast fan. Like I listen in all my spare time when I train, or, you know, back in the day when Fletcher used to sleep on me, or when I even work at my desk, you know, I listen to podcasts. I love them. And so to be able to do this with my wife, I think is really special. And it might not be like the craziest thing I've ever done.
You don't need to dilute
it's
it.
It's definitely like the thing that brings me the most like pride and joy at the moment is this part of my work. I really, really love it. So, yeah, I'm very when I you know say what I say at the beginning of every episode, and I say it means a lot that you're here. It really, really does to me, because without you listening, I wouldn't be able to do this. So I really love it.
Oh, that's lovely, sweetheart.
Okay. It says, if you guys could have anyone on the pod, who would it be and why?
Anyone.
Yeah.
Would you have an answer? Because I need to think about it.
Yeah, I do. I actually have someone that I reached out to recently to ask them to come on, and they actually said no. But it's still the person.
We're not big enough yet.
Yeah, it's still the person that I would like to have on. And I actually saw them. It's so funny talking to someone at Nova recently who went to something with them. So
oh, really?
It was. That's why I thought maybe it's a possibility, but
sure.
Alas.
Okay, but who?
His name's Jonathan Haidt. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He's like a social psychologist. He's written a few books on like. Essentially, I wanted to get him on because obviously we're young parents and we have young kids, and it's pretty much he speaks on the impact of like screens, phones, social media on the younger generation. So he's written a book called like The Anxious Generation, and it's sort of how these things are affecting kids and essentially for the bad, you know, like as in, and how we should essentially, you know, do the right thing by our kids by, you know, limiting screen time or this and that. So, but he's like a wealth of knowledge when it comes to that. And that's something that I'm actually really worried about doing right with our kids. And so, yeah, I just thought that he would be like a great person. And I'm sure, you know, we have heaps of listeners that are all young parents that have kids, and I thought it might be a useful thing to have on. But yeah, I find his work really interesting and very helpful when I listen to, so I thought maybe it would be helpful for other people to listen to, and so that's my answer.
Nice.
You?
I don't know what avenue I'd go down if it could be like anyone in the world, whether it would be someone I'd just like to have a chat to, who I'd have fun chatting to, or someone who I'd like to learn from, because there's a lot of different ways you could approach that.
Just approach it from any way then.
And
I'd love to hear your answer.
Anyway.
Is it a fashion person? Is it a
No,
mother?
I haven't
Is
gone
it a
there.
business owner? Is it an athlete? Is it a movie star?
Yeah, maybe like a comedian.
A comedian?
I don't know.
Which one?
Just for a laugh.
Who's your fave?
Maybe Ricky Gervais.
Oh my god, I wouldn't mind sitting down with Ricky.
Yeah, I'd love to chat with Ricky.
Can I come to that pod?
That would be fun. I feel like that would be a fun chat. I like his work.
Can you reach out to him?
Sure.
Well, why not?
He's not even touring Australia.
We'll figure it out.
All right.
Maybe when
I'll
he's
say,
here.
listen, Ricky, you got something against Australia. I don't know what it is, but will you come on our pod? Well, he's not touring here. He keeps touring everywhere, and then he's like, Australia.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Don't know.
Probably can't make enough money here. Do you know he holds the world record for the most money made in a single night of comedy?
Yeah, I'm sure money's an issue for him. That's probably why it's not coming.
$1.7 million at one show that he sold tickets to, and that's the world
Is that
record.
more than Taylor Swift?
Well, he's a comedian, so it's a different thing. I don't know how much he makes for a concert, but that's pretty crazy because...
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Anyway, moving on.
All right.
What's your ultimate guilty pleasure TV show?
Oh, let's end it on a good one. I actually have one that really pisses off Jad because sometimes when
What?
she, gets at the end of the night, she'll go like, "I'm just gonna lie on your lap, like you can just watch whatever you want and just play with my hair or something for 10 minutes before we go to bed." And I'm like, I don't want to start a real show. I don't want to watch, something serious. So I put on old school Jerry Springer. And I don't know
God,
why.
it's
I just
awful.
think it is hilarious. For some reason, it is just a guilty
It's
pleasure,
so bad.
I understand that. I don't think it's like a cinematic masterpiece. It's just a guilty pleasure. It's exactly
It
that,
should be guilty because it's just awful.
And then I just spend the time in my head rationalizing why the people would go on to do this and divulge these secrets. And then I go, okay, they must be offered money. Like I just try and figure it all out, and it's very funny.
I hate it.
Actually, I have one more.
Oh my God.
I have one more that we enjoyed together. So don't, oh my God.
Yeah,
me.
right.
Jad and I watched a show called 1,000-Pound Sisters. Those two women
I
were
love them so much.
funny.
They're
They
so
were
funny.
so charismatic. Their banter with each other. They were just like the funniest, most beautiful
They have
souls.
there's so many good one-liners.
Yeah.
It's just
And it was just, obviously, they're like these really big women that struggle with their weight. They're on like a weight loss journey. It's ups and downs, ebbs and flows, their relationships, their family. And it's like, it was like this weird nothing show. Like they live in the middle
How
of
did we
nowhere in
find
America.
it?
I have no idea
How
how
did
we
we
found
even
it.
find it?
I think we were watching it maybe
we saw a snippet online or something,
Yeah,
and then we were like,
maybe-
let's watch that.
maybe the beginning of having a baby where we spent heaps of time in bed, like
It was
just,
I was pregnant, I
yeah,
think.
and it was a great guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
and
It's a
they
it's
were
a
they
good
were so
bad
much
show.
fun. They were so much fun. 1,000-Pound Sisters, if you guys want to have a giggle.
Mine would have to be like Geordie Shore and Jersey Shore and all those ones that I used to eat up. And all those awful MTV shows. Like there was a show called Next where like someone would walk out of a caravan and then the person would like immediately judge whether or not they want to spend time with them, and if not they'd go next.
Oh,
And then the
like
person would always
how
have this
long did
really
you
tacky
have?
one
Like
line.
5 seconds or?
It just immediately.
Oh wow.
They might open the door and the person's gone next.
Oh wow.
And then they usually had like a tacky one-liner set up to like insult the person back. Like, I didn't want to hang out with you anyway because you look like a foot or something. That was obviously way better than that. But like,
Imagine pitching that show to a network, and the network's like, yeah.
I used
let's
to
do
eat it
that.
up though. And then there was like, what else did they have? They had a lot of trash
That
shows
would've
on
been good for
MTV.
people's self-confidence.
Yeah, it was crazy. Anyway, I love a bit of trash TV.
Yeah,
Gotta
I mean,
say.
I'm sure we all do. All right, guys. Well, that's a little catch up with us end of the year. Hope I don't know. Hope you learnt something maybe, and
I don't.
you hope
Wasn't-
they didn't learn anything.
Wasn't much to learn.
No, I mean, they're a
Just
bit more personal questions, right?
It was a bit more chit chat.
right,
was it
very
personal?
sorry. Yeah, it was personal questions.
You just kept talking about balls and 30-year-old
Oh
men.
my god! All right, guys, let's end on our Ask Mum and Dad. Let's try and give some actual advice out. All right, it says, "Hey guys, I'm writing in because I need help with this situation I'm having at work. I work at a bar, and recently I found myself crushing hard on one of the guys who works with me. He's super cute, charming, and just has this big energy that people seem to love. The problem is he used to date one of our other co-workers, and from what I've heard and seen a bit myself, things didn't end well. Apparently, he wasn't the most faithful or best partner. Lots of drama, mixed signals, that kind of thing. She's since moved on and doesn't seem to care anymore, but people know how messy it was. Now he started flirting with me, and it's honestly hard to ignore. There's definitely chemistry, and part of me wonders if I should just see where it goes, but the other part of me is like, girl, don't be dumb. I'm so torn. People can change, right? Should I give him a chance or trust myself, or keep things strictly professional and save myself the potential heartache and workplace awkwardness?"
It depends how much you love this job, really. Like,
Wait, so nothing to do with the knowing that he's a shit bloke?
well, that's what I mean. Like, how much do you love this job, and then like, how much are you willing to risk?
Well, the job's got nothing to do with
Yes, it
knowing
does.
that he's a shit bloke.
Yeah, but he might have been a shit bloke because he didn't care about her.
Yeah, but that's still... But you should have left her then, not treated her
I
like shit.
agree. I'm not saying like under no circumstances do I think you should be unfaithful, but I am saying that like your relationship with this person doesn't determine what your relationship with this person's going to be like.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but I think it's also like a show of their character, right? Like
Do you know
how
people who've cheated and then gone on to have
how
faithful relationships?
Yeah, but it doesn't change how I feel about their character. I still think it's like a very poor character trait. And I think that if you have the capacity to do that to someone, you have the capacity to do it again. As in, like, I'm not saying you're not going to do it again. Like, as you say, you might be faithful again. But that's how I feel about that.
I think it also depends how old you are. Like, some people don't take dating very seriously when they're, like, fresh 18, and then later in life they realize, that wasn't the best thing to do, perhaps. I should have taken it more seriously or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, if you just want to smooch him and have a bit of fun, yeah, cool. Maybe it doesn't matter as much. But if you're, like, looking to date him and start a relationship with someone who has, like, treated someone really poorly in front of your eyes, it's, like, a well-known thing with all your colleagues at work, like, whether it's mixed signals, unfaithful, whatever else you said. Like, I don't know if that's, like, the recipe for love. Like, if you're
risk.
questioning it.
Like, obviously there's probably a higher chance that things could not work out, but it doesn't mean that it won't definitely. Like, it doesn't mean it's definitely going to end the same way.
Well, I'm a fan of the workplace romance.
If you have, like,
I've been there, but I'm just saying,
okay,
I don't mind that risk. Like, go for the risk. You work at a bar, who cares? If it doesn't work out, go work for the bar 3 doors down.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm more just mean, like, why not, like, put your time and energy into, like, an attractive dude that has good energy.
You can't choose who you're attracted to. Like,
yeah, but
when you have chemistry with someone as well, especially, like, that's hard to ignore.
Yeah, but we've all had the hots for people that we know are wrong for us, right? Like, we've all been there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this person's really attractive.
Right.
Great energy, good chemistry, it's fun, but probably shouldn't be
Something
with them.
deep down going.
Yeah, probably shouldn't be with
there's
them
an
because
alarm
there's
bell.
all these things that are not probably right. But it doesn't mean you don't have, like, chemistry, energy, and they're super hot. You want to tear their clothes off.
Just
that's
sleep
that's
with
an
him.
option.
Just sleep with him, get a new job.
Sleep with him, get a new job. Wow, the advice has shifted. Yeah, I don't know. I would just say, like, no. If you know that's kind of what he's like and that's what you're in for, just, like, hold out for another attractive dude with good energy that you like is not a knobhead.
Yeah,
or
just
you have,
enjoy
like,
the
evidence
flirting.
that he's a knobhead.
Sometimes it's like when you the flirtings could be really good, and then sometimes you go past the flirting and then it's all ruined. So just enjoy this bit. That's fun and lighthearted, and you don't need to open the door, maybe.
Yeah. I don't think you should open the door, but each to their own. Do whatever you like. But, yeah, to me,
That's
knowing that
terrible
he's
advice.
treated other women like that around you, and it doesn't
Yeah.
really sound like he's, like, hiding it or shying away from it, you'd probably just be next on the list to be treated like
Oh
that.
my
So,
god, not the list.
yeah,
Not the next on the list.
my tip is don't do it. But Jad said just sleep with him and get another job.
No,
So
I'm
there's-
joking.
There's different advice coming
I'm
up
just
today.
joking. I reckon you just enjoy the flirting and maybe just keep it there. Keep it at that arm's length.
All right.
And assess his behaviour from afar.
She's already assessed it. Shit.
Assess it a bit longer.
All
See
right,
if he
assess
does
a bit
it again.
longer. Do it from the arm's length. All right, guys, that's all we have for you today. Appreciate you checking in. As always, means a lot.
Thanks
if you're
for
loving the
tuning in.
episode, we'd love a review or a comment, and we look forward to chatting to you next week.
See you soon.
Peace.
Bye.